Tomorrow's test will have questions very similar to these. The numbers and the names will be different, but everything else will be very, very similar to this. So if your child can do these problems today, he or she will be fine tomorrow as well. I'm going to go over these. If I'm going a little bit too fast for you, remember you can always pause and return the video to review whatever you would like to review again. So this first question says a box of limes has 200 limes. How many limes are in 3 boxes? So this is a multiplication question. This is the skill we've learned this week. So most of these questions will be multiplication. So if I have 200 limes and there are 3 boxes, that means I would be multiplying. We can do this in several ways. We'll start by multiplying the basic fact. 2 times 3 is 6. And then I'm going to add the 2 zeros to the end. So the answer would be 600 limes. The next question says, Carlos does push-ups, 65 push-ups each day. How many push-ups does he do in 7 days? So again, this is another multiplication question. 65 push-ups and in 7 days. So this is another multiplication question. There's several ways we can solve this. We can use the standard algorithm, which is when we just multiply. 7 times 5 is 35. Regroup. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 3 is 45, so 455. Or your child might want to break apart the number. So 65 would be broken into 60 and 5. And then we multiply. 60 times 7 is 420 plus 35. And then if I add these two up, I get 455. So on this one, we break apart the largest number into 2 numbers, 60 and 5. Why 60 and 5? We try to keep the tens. So a 6 is equal to 60 in the tens place, and a 5 in the ones place is a 5. And then another thing that you can do is partial products. You have all of this in your journal in case you want to review it. So in partial products, we multiply the number of groups, which is 7, times the value of each digit. So the 5 is in the ones place. It has a value of 5. 7 times 5 is 35. And then we would multiply the 7 again times the 6, but the 6 is in the tens place, which means it has a value of 60. So 7 times 60 is 420. You add these up, and you get 455. You can choose whichever way is easiest for you to multiply. I'm not going to be doing each multiplication method on each problem. I just wanted to show you on this first one the different ways you can multiply. How would I break apart this equation? 6 times 915. So we always break apart the larger number. How would I break apart 915? Well, the 9 is in the hundreds place. The 1 is in the tens place. And the 5 is in the ones place. So this would be already broken apart. And then I can do the next step, which is sharing the outside number with each inside number. So 6 times 900 plus 6 times 10 plus 6 times 5. You have notes for this in your journal as well. We don't need to solve it. It's just telling me how would I break it apart. So we don't need to solve this problem. To multiply 6 times 204, Julie multiplied 6 times 200 and got 1,200. What number should she add to get the exact number, the exact answer? So this is also a multiplication problem. She is using the break apart method. That's how she ended up with 1,200. 6 times 204. She broke apart 204 into 2 numbers. She broke it apart into 200 and into 4. So now when I share my number, my outside number 6 times 200 plus 4, and I'm going to share the outside number with each of my inside numbers. So 6 with 200 and 6 with 400. 6 times 200 plus 6 times 4. Okay, So 6 times 2 is 12. Don't forget to add 2 zeros. 1, 2, 1,200. She already has this part. The question is, what number should she add to get the exact final answer? So the number she would add would be 24. Why 24? Because 6 times 4 is 24. To get the exact answer, I would have to add 1,200 plus 24 to get the exact final answer. They don't want to know what the exact final answer is. They want to know what is the number she should add. The number she should add is 24 because 6 times 4 is 24. Jaime donated 7 boxes of books to the library. There are 30 books in each box. How many books did he donate? This is a multiplication question. 7 boxes times 30 books in each box. We can do basic facts first. So 7 times 3 is 21. Don't forget about the 0. The answer is 210 books. What do you know about the property of 0? It doesn't matter what number you're multiplying. If you're multiplying by a 0, the answer, if you're multiplying by a 0, will always be 0. So in all of these numbers, even in the million times 0, the answer is 0. Which will cost less than $1,000. To solve this question, we have 4 options. We have to multiply each option and find the one that is less than 1,000. So in the first one, I would multiply 2 times 600. 2 times 6 is 12. Don't forget to add the zeros. 1,200. This one's over, so this one would be wrong. 4 tables for $500 each. So I would multiply 4 times 500. 4 times 5 is 20. Don't forget to add the 2 zeros. 2,000. This one is greater than 1,000, so it's wrong. 3 tables times $300 each. 3 times 300. 3 times 3 is 9. Don't forget to add the 2 zeros. 900. This one could be the answer because it is less than 1,000. And the last one is 12 tables times $100 each. So 12 times 100. 12 times 1 is 12. Don't forget the 2 zeros. 1, 2. This is wrong because it is not less than 1,200. The correct answer would be 3 tables for $300 each because it is less than 1,000. How would you break apart 48 times 9? So we don't need to solve this. We just need to break it apart. We always break apart the largest number. 48 will be broken apart into 40 and 8. Why 40? Because the 4 in the tens place represents 40. And then I have my 9. So this would become 40 times 9 plus 8 times 9. Remember, we share the outside number with each of the inside numbers. And that's it. You don't need to solve it. Why did I get 40 and 8? Because 48 has 4 tens, which is equal to 40, and it has 8 ones, which is equal to 8. And then we share it with the outside number, which is 9. Jacob buys 3 pencils for $1.50 each and 3 coloring books for $4 each. How much did Jacob spend in all? So in all tells us it can be addition. In this case, it's actually multiplication, or you could also solve through addition. I'm going to use multiplication. So 3 pencils for $1.50 each. So I'm going to take $1.50 and I'm going to multiply it by 3 because there are 3 pencils. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Regroup. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 1 is $4.50. This is just the total for the 3 pencils. Now I need to find out what is the total for my 3 coloring books that are $4 each. So $4 for each of my 3 coloring books. 4 times 3 is $12. How do I find in all? Now I'm going to add my two totals, $4.50 plus $12 equals $16.50. So this was a two-step problem. First, you had to find out the total for the 3 pencils, that was $1.50 each, and then the total for the 3 coloring books, that was $4 each. Once you have those two numbers, those two amounts, you add them up to find the total he spent in all. What property of multiplication is shown? I'm going to skip this one actually. You have notes in your journal though. Laura jogged 8 miles each day for 10 days. How many miles did she jog in all? So usually in the past when we saw in all, we automatically assumed it was addition, not with multiplication. Now that we are learning multiplication, sometimes when we see in all, it is multiplication. So if she jogged 8 miles, but she did it for 10 days, I would need to multiply to find out how much she jogged in all. Basic facts, 8 times 1 is 8. Add your 0, and you get 80 miles in all. How would you break apart 24 times 8? We always break apart the larger number. So 24 times 8, we're going to break apart 24. So I can break apart 24 into 20 and 4. Why 20 and 4? Because 20 plus 4 is 24 times 8. And then I'm going to share the outside number times with each inside number. So this would become 20 times 8 plus 4 times 8. You don't need to solve, it just wants to know how you would break apart. How would you break apart 3 times 239? We always start with a large number. That's the one we break apart. So if I have 3 times 239, how would I break apart 239? Well, the 2 stands for 200 because it's in the hundreds place. The 3 is in the tens place. It represents 30. And the 9 is in the ones. It just stays as a 9. Now I'm going to share the outside number with each inside number. So this would become 3 times my first number, 200, plus, share the 3 again, times my second number, 30, plus 3, share it one last time, times 9. I don't have to solve, I just need to put how I would break it apart. Sam bought 3 packs of staples. Each pack has 1,000 staples. How many staples did Sam buy in all? Again, we see the word in all, we might think addition, but we've learned multiplication. This one is actually multiplication because he bought 3 packs and each pack has 1,000. Basic facts, 3 times 1 is 3 and add 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. He bought 3,000 staples in all. The art teacher bought 6 boxes of crayons. There are 70 crayons in each box. How many crayons does the teacher have? Again, this is multiplication because she bought 6 boxes, but each box has 70. So there are 6 groups with 70 each. I'm going to multiply. Start with basic facts. 6 times 7 is 42. Don't forget to add the 0. She has 420 crayons. Sandy goes to piano class for 175 minutes every week. What is the best estimate of the number of minutes Sandy practices the piano in 4 weeks? So here's a clue, estimate. That means before anything, I'm going to round. Which number am I going to round? I have 2. I have 175 and 4. I'm always going to round the larger number. So 175, I'm going to round to the largest place value because it doesn't tell me what to round to. So this would become, if my number is 4 or less, I let it rest. If my neighbor is 5 or more, I add 1 more. My neighbor is 5 or more. That means I'm going to add 1 more to the 1, which means this becomes 200. Now I can multiply to find out how she practices, how much she practices in 4 weeks. So times 4 weeks. Basic facts. 2 times 4, 8. Don't forget to add your 2 zeros. 1, 2. So she practices approximately 800 minutes. This is not an exact answer. It is an estimate. Each section of the stadium has 300 seats. If there are 9 sections, how many seats in all does the auditorium have? This is multiplication because each section has 300, but there are 9 sections, so I need to find the total in all 9 sections. Start with basic facts. 3 times 9, 27. Add your 2 zeros, 2,700 seats. There are 204 airplanes in the sky each day. How many airplanes are in the sky in 7 days? Again, this is multiplication because we have a number of airplanes per day, but we want to find out what about the total number in 7 days. There's different ways you can solve this problem for multiplication. I'm going to use the break apart method. So which number do I break apart? The larger number. I'm going to break apart 204 into 200. Why? Because there's a 2 in the hundreds place. And there's no 10, so I'm going to skip the 10s. There's a 0. And the 4 for the ones. Times 7. Why 7? Because that's the number of days. I'm going to take the outside number and share it with each of the inside numbers. So now I'm going to do 7 times 200. Basic facts. 7 times 2 is 14. Add your 2 zeros. 1, 2. Plus 7 times 4 is 28. Add these up. 1,400 plus 28 equals 1,428 airplanes in the sky. I know this was a little bit fast, so if there's any problem you'd like to review, remember you can go back and rewatch the steps for that problem. If you have any questions, send me a message and I can help you.